bats, left-handed, batting the number 2 spot. On the outside corner, looks like strike 1. Have not seen Rollinson throw thus far. Saw Johnson throw, did an excellent job. Rollinson brings it hard. Got good motion on the ball. That's on the outside half, knocked it out of play on the left side. It'll be an 0-2 count now to Malia Olson. Lines up once again, 0-2. A little high ball. Pitch is a little bit high, so it goes 2-2 to count now. Two, one down. Sharply down the left field line. It's going to go foul. So it'll stay 2-2 to the batter, Olson. Ball comes back in, but Rollinson doesn't like that one. Souvenir for one of the kids, I guess. Everybody's ready except the umpire. He's still coming back. 2-2 the count now to Olson. Foul back against the screen once again. Foul back again. Olson battling hard. Malia Olson has been 2-2. She's used a lot of pitch, as Rollinson's thrown a lot of pitches to Olson. And just keep battling. Stays 2-2 the count. Tries to float that changeup in there. Gets a little bit too high as it comes through the zone. Going to be called the ball. So now Olson has worked it full. See what Rollinson stirs up here on a full count. Hit hard in the left field down the line, hooking foul, and unable to get there is the left fielder Johnson. So it will remain 3-2, and we'll come back and do it again. Full count. This has been a heck of a battle by Olson here in the batter's box. See which one wins this encounter here. Another foul back against the screen. So back in, one down here in the bottom of the first. This is going to be a nice snag. A ball tailing away off the left-handed bat to the left. Fielder is tailing away from Johnson, and she adjusts at the last second, reaches out and grabs it. What a battle by Olson, but ultimately North Sanpete won the battle as it's a fly out. But a very nice play by Johnson in left field. Second out brings up Brindley Stapleton, and she will be followed by Emma Broadbent. Stapleton, the catcher. First pitch is a called strike. She tries to throw that change up and it lands a little bit short of the plate. So it'll be 1-1 the call. In on the hands, fouls it off, bounces off the screen, comes right back to the pitcher Rollinson. Again, this is Brindley Stapleton, the catcher for South Summit. And Emma Broadbent will be on deck, the first baseman. the right side this time. Again, hard off the screen, rolls right back to the pitcher. Catcher's not having to do anything right now. Those foul balls are hitting the screen so hard, they're hitting the poles, rolling right back out to the pitcher. So she sets ready to fire once again. Ripped down the third baseline, foul. So these batters for South Summit are battling hard. They're making her throw a lot of pitches. And somewhere in there, she's got to have that string, that strikeout pitch. Right now, they're fouling everything off. Once again, 1-2 the count. Ball. That might be her strikeout pitch. Is a little bit of a changeup, but it's landing short of the plate. So it's 2-2 now. 2-2 with 2 out. We got here with Malia Olson also, and went for quite a while at 2-2. That's going to get the outside corner. They're going to give it to her. They'll strike 3, so she records her first strikeout. Does Robinson. That's the third out of the inning, and that will be it. 1-2-3 for both sides. We'll be back with the second inning.
Sanpete Steel and Moroni was founded in 1994 and is one of the major steel construction companies in the Intermountain West, specializing in structural steel fabrication and assembly. Sanpete Steel's impressive portfolio includes the Hales Theater in Sandy and structures on the campuses of the University of Utah, BYU, and UVU. Sanpete Steel and Moroni, where their motto is done right and on time at 685 East Main Street. Call today at 800-261-1026. That's 800-261-1026. Or go to sanpetesteel.com.
Welcome back here as we start now at the top of the second inning. South Summit back out in the field. And North Sanpete will come to the plate with number 4 batter, the pitcher, Shay Rawlinson. Then Kaylee Johnson. And followed by Brooklyn Larson. So here we go. Rawlinson steps to the plate. Batting at the fourth spot. Rawlinson from North Sanpete fists one off inside on her hand. She just fists it off back against the screen. It goes. And Rawlinson again with a 408 batting average, 5 home runs, 4 doubles, 3 triples. She's done extremely well as a batter, as you should be when you're hitting out of that number 4 spot. Fists off another one. This is going to come back over the screen on the left side now. So doing a good job of pitching is Toshlin Louder, just keeping it on the hands. So Rawlinson can't extend those arms and get that out away from her. Keeping it in tight on her. We'll see if she breaks her outside now, moving inside outside. She comes inside again, but it's going to be low in the dirt, so that'll be ball. 1-2 the count. She keeps working that inside, does not want Rawlinson to get her arms extended. Leaves it out over the middle of the plate, but she's going to be a little short, pops it up center field, settles under it, and it's going to be taken there by Malia Olson from the first out. Looked like she maybe had made a mistake there. She left that one out over the middle and just couldn't quite get all the bat on it with Rawlinson, so she flies out to center field for the first out. Now Kaylee Johnson comes to the plate. Kaylee Johnson pitched the last game, is now playing left field, made a great catch in the last inning. Swing and a miss by Kaylee Johnson. She was looking for some grass there on the other side of the fence, but just misses that one. Johnson with a .333 batting average. It stays here, but does not show with any home runs. And that, which I got the wrong Johnson. So this is Kaylee Johnson, .341 average, and does have home runs. gone a year without hitting a home run. Johnson now behind in the count. 0-1-2 is the count. Oh, got her on, pulled a string. Masterful job by Toshton Louder. They kept it up and in a little bit and then pulled a string on it so it looked fatter than it was. The swing's right through it, this Kaylee Johnson. And strikeout number 1 registered by Toshton Louder for the second out of the inning. That brings up Brooklyn Larson, the designated player. She'll be followed by Autumn Oldroyd, the first baseman. Gonna hit this one hard down the right field side. Looks like it's going to be foul. I don't believe it was caught. They're coming back to the plate to hit again. So, and again, we cannot see when the fielders in the left and right field start to approach their respective foul lines. They go behind trees for us. We can't see that. So this time she fouls it straight back. Is there room? There is. The catcher makes the play. So Brooklyn Larson fouls out, pop fly to the catcher. So another 1-2-3 inning in the top of the second. And we'll be back in a second for the bottom of the second in South Summit batting.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
Welcome back here to the field here at Spanish Fork. We must make a correction. Casey Johnson, not Kaylee Johnson. She was Casey last game, and then I transposed the name incorrectly, and she became Kaylee Johnson. But I apologize to the Johnson family. It is Casey Johnson playing a nice game here for North Sanpete. I apologize. Emma Broadbent will come to the plate now to lead off the bottom half of the second inning here for South Summit. And Shay Rawlinson still in the circle here, approaching her second inning of pitching. Going to be outside, called a strike on the outside corner, strike 1. Broadbent batting from the left side. She is the first baseman for South Summit, batting left-handed. It's going to be a little too far out there, 1-1 the count now. Rawlinson brings it, pops straight back into the stands, off the edge of the building. So 1-2 the count. So she'll step back in. Right back up the middle, right past the outstretched hands of the pitcher Rawlinson, and that is the first base runner. No, that is not the first base runner. There were base runners in the first inning for North Sanpete, but got wiped out by a double play. But I believe that's the first hit of the ball game for either team. So that will bring Clegg to the line, to the batter's box. Pitch down the middle, strike 1 on the call. Again, that give that outside corner, strike 1, strike 2. 0-2 the count here to Emma Broadbent to Javian Clegg with Addie Ace on deck. Check swing, Gonna get the call. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Was able to check it in time. Did not go far enough around. Swing and a miss. Blew it right by her. Strike 3. Second strikeout for Robinson. First out of the inning. Brings Adeline Ace. Will come to the plate. Second baseman here for South Summit. Should be followed by Toshlin Louder, the pitcher for South Summit. Nice pitch on that outside half. Strike 1. Ace. Turns to bunt, puts it down the third baseline. It's fielded by Cook across to the second baseman covering there. That's Olivia Madsen. Nice play after Cook to Madsen to record the out on the bunt, but it does move Broadbent to second base. So Toshlin Louder will now come to the plate with a runner in scoring position here. Louder, the number 7 hitter for South Summit. Pitch is on the outside half. They're going to give that strike on that outside corner. Strike 1 to Louder. And Rawlinson brings it again. Pop up just in the foul territory, and Cook makes the play. She has done a nice job for North Sanpete in these 2 ball games, as she makes a diving catch there to end the inning and stop the threat of South Summit. So after 2 complete, it's 0-0. We'll come back at the top of the third.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
Welcome back here to the Spanish Fork Complex for the 2A, 3A state tournament. Brought to you by Centricom, Team Hive, and KSL Sports Networks. And we are now in the top of the third inning here. This is an elimination ball game. Right now, North Sanpete will come to the plate. In the top of the third, they've yet to challenge with anything. They've had runners on, got wiped out by a double. There's a bloop over the shortstop, and they're going to range back and pick it up. Nice play there by Maria Bowen, ranging back behind third base to make that play. So that's an F6 for the first out. But the big thing here is the economy of pitches. South Summit has worked Madsen pretty good in the pitcher circle, but so far, Toshlin Louder hasn't thrown an awful lot of pitches. She's been able to get by with the economy of the pitching. That was a foul back into the screen on top of the building here for strike 1. Second pitch, swing right through that one. Nice pitch by Toshlin Louder. It was up around the eyes and a little bit of a change of speed, and swinging right through that was Annie Madsen. She'll hit one to third. Line drive taken by the third baseman there, Tavian Clegg. And that's 2 down quick. And now Kaylee Robinson comes to the plate. First time up. Madsen fouls straight back. Strike 1 to Robinson. On deck is Olivia Madsen. Louder brings it, hit right down first baseline, fielded nicely, but it's in foul territory. And a nice pick up there by Emma Broadbent. Nice movement to the side to pick that one up. It was foul. So it's 0-2 count now for Louder This one's hit high in the air. The second base ranges back, settles under it, and makes the catch. So again, a quick inning. South Summit over North Sanpete really quick. And after 3 innings, North Sanpete has used the minimum amount of batters. 9 batters are through 3 innings. So we'll be back with the bottom of the third when we come back.
Riverton Chevy is more than just a dealership. For over 103 years, our family has proudly served this community because Utah is our home. Through our Everyday Champions program, we celebrate those who make our community stronger. Military, teachers, and first responders, our local champions never pay for oil changes with the purchase of a new vehicle. Thank you for making Riverton Chevy your dealership for over a century. Visit us today in South Jordan or online at rivertonchevy.com. Still the Chevyweight champion.
Welcome back once again here to Spanish Fork. 3A elimination ball game here between North Sanpete and South Summit. Right now it's 0-0 in the bottom of the third inning with South Summit coming to the plate to bat. These two pitchers have thrown a nice ball game thus far. So far the North Sanpete has used the minimal amount of players and batters through 3 innings, and South Summit through 2 innings has used 1 over the minimum. There's only been 1 hit in the ball game, that by South Summit. That was by Emma Broadbent, who got to second base but was stranded there by some fine pitching and fielding by North Sanpete. So here we go. Sydney Crystal will be at the plate, followed by Sarah Duke. Swing and a miss on the outside edge of the plate and low. Missed that one, did Sydney Crystal. Once again, Rawlinson dials it up. Sharp foul down the first base line. That'll be strike 2, 0-2 the count. Next pitch by Rawlinson is up, a little high and outside. Ball 1, 1-2 the count. Pitch on the way, catcher sets up on the outside half, right where the catcher was set up. They're going to say that they checked the swing. It was not a called strike. They checked the swing, said she did not go. So that, I thought he'd called a strike on the pitch itself, but did not. It's 2-2 the count. Swing and a miss right there, strike 3. And she throws a ball up around the eyes, and Crystal goes after it. Strikeout, first out of the inning. Sarah Duke comes to the plate, her first appearance at the plate. So Sarah Duke steps in there, and I'm just noticing it now, but the sun is dropping down to where it may be playing a bit of a role in the eyes of the batters. It's dropping down and coming directly into their face. Foul back, strike 1. They don't act like it because they are making some contact. They're just not able to put it where they want to. A lot of foul balls, a lot of tip balls. So Sarah Duke at the plate, 0-1 count. Mariah Bowen will be on deck. On that outside corner, called strike 2. So both of these pitchers are jumping right after the batters. A lot of 0-2 counts on these batters. They're jumping right after them. They're not playing around with their early pitches. Then they get ahead a little bit and they start to play on that outside corner. That one's a little high. 1-2 the count. These catchers, both of them really are with an 0-2 count. They're setting up on the outside edge. Now she stays dead, looking maybe for an off-speed pitch. Swing and a miss, dribble it back to the pitcher. Pitcher picks it up, makes a big throw, drops the ball, so she's safe anyway. She was going to be safe anyway, but that will put a runner on now. Another runner has reached South Summit puts another runner on with, really that was a kind of an infield hit. She was there before the ball got to her. The ball was dropped, but she was there before it really hit the glove. So Mariah Bowen will come to the plate. She grounded out to shortstop last time up. Malia Olson will be on deck. Pitch a little bit low and outside. So ball one. And again, both pitchers generally with the first pitch have been jumping right on these batters. But that time she misses low. Hits sharp to third base. She comes up with it, makes the throw to second to make sure of that out. Again, a great play by Cook at third base. As that's a shot, she knocks it down and is able to come up with the throw to second base to get the lead runner, Duke. So that's 5-4 for that put out. That's the second out. It does bring Mariah Bowen to first base and brings Malia Olson to the plate. And she flew out to left field last time up on a great running catch by Casey Johnson in left. Change up thrown there. And if they had wanted to send the runner, that was the one, because that was a slow developing pitch there. But they'll call it a ball, ball one. Rollinson steps on it, ready to bring it. Fouled back over the screen, back towards the crowd over on field number one. So Olson now 1-1 with, I've got 2 outs in the inning. Scoreboard says 1. Oh, okay, it is 2. All right, sorry. Pitch on the outside, going to be a ball. So it is 2-1 the count now with 2 outs in the inning to Malia Olson. Brindley Stapleton on deck as South Summit tries to jump on top here. Runner goes. The throw is offline, goes clear into center field. Center field does a nice job. Annie Madsen backing that play up so that the steal was okay. They made the steal but did not get to third base on the overthrow. And good job of backing that up by the center fielder. She broke the minute the runner broke. So Bowen now, this is the second time South Summit's had a player in scoring position. The ball gets by, it's a walk to the batter. The ball gets past the catcher, so Bowen gets all the way to third now on the passed ball, and Olson draws the walk. So again, the announcer's curse, I guess, but we've been talking about how good the pitchers are doing, and now we've cursed Rawlinson as she struggles here after getting the first couple of outs. She's struggling here now. Runners at the corner, 2 down in the inning. At the plate is Brindley Stapleton, the number 3 hitter. They don't send the runner to second. Didn't really even check her. The corners are playing back so far. If you could lay down a bunt right down one of the baselines, this would be a walk to the base. That's down the middle. 2 balls. Call the ball, so it's 2-0 the count now to a dangerous batter, Stapleton, followed by Broadbent. 2 dangerous batters here for South Summit. That one's called a strike on the outside edge, so 2-1 is the count. Stapleton stands in again. Rawlinson brings it outside edge. It's a fly ball into center field. Center fielder rolls over. That's Madsen makes the play. And so once again, South Summit challenges and they threaten, but they come up with nothing as Annie Madsen makes a play over into right center field, makes the play, and that's 3 outs. They leave a couple of runners on, but no score so far. At the end of 3, it's 0-0.
My parents know nothing about gaming. I told them we needed Centricom Fiber because it's by far the fastest and most reliable internet speeds.
Hey bud, dinner's ready. Time to turn off the game box.
Alright, this round's almost over.
These days, kids do a lot of their homework online. They talk to their teachers, they receive assignments, and they do research, all from our kitchen table. That's why I chose Centricom Fiber Internet. They have the fastest and most reliable connection, so my kids can stay on top of their schoolwork.
Jones and DeMille Engineering was founded with a simple mission to shape the quality of life with a personalized touch. As a full-service civil engineering firm, they provide value beyond the project, creating places where people live, work, and thrive. For over 40 years, they've proudly served our communities, enhancing lives through their work. Join their team and become a dedicated community improvement leader. Whether you're an engineer or just love infrastructure, they invite you to seek a career with them. Jones and DeMille Engineering, shaping the quality of life.
Welcome back. Here we go. Start of the fourth inning now. Top half of the fourth. And North Sanpete will go back to the top of their order. They've been 3 innings. They've been through the order 1 time. 3 outs per inning, 9 hitters. They've been through it 1 time. They have had runners on, but a double play wiped them out. So they've only had one runner on base, and a double play wiped that right off the board. So we'll go back to Olivia Manson. See if she can, first pitch, she hits it to third base, across the diamond easily from Clegg to Broadbent, 1 pitch, 1 out. And that's what I'm talking about, is the economy of pitches here for Jocelyn Louder. She's throwing minimal pitches. They're not working her very hard at all. She's in and around the zone, and they're swinging early, and she's able to get them. Bunt here down the third base line. This is going to get there. I think she's going to get there in time. And the first base runner for North Sanpete as Cook bunts to get on, and the corners were playing back, and she laid down the perfect bunt. So that's the, second base runner, first hit for North Sanpete. And it brings Riley Stewart to the plate now. Riley Stewart grounded out to shortstop last time. This time she'll go down third, but way foul. So North Sanpete trying to make something happen here now in the fourth inning. See how Toshlin reacts to having a runner on here in the fourth inning. She hasn't had to deal with that. Throws the changeup. Runner goes on the steal. The throw is high. Gets away. She's going to break for third base. Second picks it up, makes the throw to third. And at third, Clegg smothers it so it doesn't get away from her. So here we go. We have Miley Cook steals second, and then on the bad throw, she's able to go to third. So now we have a runner at third base, no but 1 out. In the heart of the order now, Riley Stewart, Shea Rawlinson, and Casey Johnson. The next 3 batters here for North Sanpete. Going to be popped up on the infield. First baseman's coming over for it. Broadbent will take it. 2 down now. So that's the second out of the inning. See if South Summit can battle their way out of this situation again. And they have got Shea Rawlinson at the plate, and she's a powerful hitter with a good average. So this is strength on strength here. With rips one into left field, but it's going to be caught out there by Sarah Duke. So the runner to third base with only 1 out. North Sanpete cannot convert. So at the middle of the fourth inning, it is still 0-0. We'll be back with the bottom of the fourth after this. Wow.
Your car carries you and those you love through the days and years. It deserves the best care you can give it. At Burt Brothers, we can help with that. We've been doing it better than anyone else since 1991, and we'll keep doing it to get you through all the important moments on life's roads. Because cars are more than how we get from here to there, they're how we get from there to here. Find your nearest store and discover special offers at burtbrothers.com.
Welcome back here. We are in a real dogfight of a ball game, I guess you could call it that. Some games are dogfights when it's 17-13 or 17-16, but this one's 0-0. Both teams have had a chance to score runs. They've hadn't gotten the runners to third base, but not able to come up with that timely hit. The pitchers are doing a wonderful job of fighting off the batters, especially with runners in position. So here we go, bottom of the fourth inning now. South Summit will send to the plate. Again, the heart of the order, Emma Broadbent, the 4th hitter. The fifth hitter is Javian Clegg. The sixth hitter is Addie Aced. So Broadbent got a hit last time up. Clegg struck out, and then Aced grounded out from third base to second base. So we'll see what happens. Broadbent stands in. She did get the single. We'll see if she can do it again. She got the single to start and led off the second inning and got that single. And at that time it was the only hit, and I think still there's only been 3 hits in the ball game by both teams combined. So here goes Broadbent. Inside, strike on the inside corner. So 1-1 is the call. This again, remember, this is an elimination ball game. The loser, unfortunately, as good as these teams are, the loser will have to end their season. She pulls the string on the changeup, but unfortunately, way outside and way slow. Ball 2, 2-1 the call. Hits the ball sharply to second base, up with it and across to first. The play by Madsen to Oldroyd, and that'll wipe out the first hitter of the bottom of the fourth.
Now hitting number 18, Javian Clegg.
Now Javian Clegg will come to the plate. Last time up, she struck out. And behind her is Adeline Aced. Addie Aced they had on the scorecard. Foul ball off the glove and off the helmet of the catcher. Pitcher walks out and hands the ball to the umpire, hands up, giving the catcher a chance to recover. But the catcher, Stewart, is ready to go. So Clegg will step back in, down 0-1. Pop up on the infield where there's their room. Now it'll come across and out of the stadium. Looked like it might hang in there and give him a chance to make a catch there, but it got enough to get over the top of that backstop, and it'll be strike 2 now, 0-2 the count. Fouled back again by Clegg. Clegg again followed by Aced. And if they get past that, it's Toshlin Louder. Swing and a miss. Struck her out. Threw a little bit high, fast, and down the middle. And they get the strikeout for the second out.
Now up, number 9, Addie Aced.
That's 4 strikeouts for the pitcher, Rawlinson. She has had 1 strikeout in every inning thus far. So here we go with the third batter of the inning, Aced. She stands in. She grounded out to third base the first time up. That's a call on that outside corner, strike 1. So steps back in for the second pitch from Rawlinson. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 0-2 the count now to Aced. She'll be followed by Toshlin Louder if she's able to get on base. Louder batting in the number 7 position, but she's throwing an excellent game, is Louder, the pitcher. So Aced now steps in 0-2. Ooh, little high, let that one go. She tried to tempt her up around the eyes, but she stayed away from it, so it's 1-2 now is the count. Rawlinson, again high, got that up a little bit too high. So 2-2 now the count. 2-2 with 2 out. They step back in ready to go here, battling one another. A little bit low. It's on that outside corner where she wanted it, but it went a little low, so Aced has worked it back full now. She went from 0-2 to 3-2 now, full count. Important pitch here now from Rawlinson. Got past the catcher, but they called it a ball anyway. So ball 4, she gives up a walk there, which will take Ace to first base, and it'll bring Louder to the plate. Toshlin Louder, the pitcher, flew out to third base last time. Nice pitch down the middle, strike 1. Toshlin Louder, the senior, has a .366 batting average. So 1 strike on her from Rollinson, the pitcher. Hits sharply down first base, but it'll be foul. Strike 2. So once again, she goes 0-2 on the batter, does Rollinson. So we'll see if Louder can battle out of it like Ace did. She was down 0-2 and battled back to a walk. We'll see what Louder's able to do against Rollinson here with an 0-2 count. He's going to dribble it back just past the pitcher's glove, but second base is there and able to make the play. So it's a 4-3 put out for the third out of the inning. So once again, they get a runner on, but can't make anything happen. And at the end of 4, it's 0-0. Looks like it's going to be a close game. We'll be right back.
Expecting a bundle of joy? Beaver Valley Hospital's new maternity wing is your local haven for life's special deliveries. Combining cozy comfort with top-tier technology, they bring big city medical excellence to the heart of Beaver with that small-town touch Beaver Valley Hospital is known for. Their full-service community hospital is your health partner from inpatient care, emergency, surgical, maternity, physical therapy, home health, and hospice. Beaver Valley Hospital is proud to support Beaver High School.
Welcome back here. An update on the other 3A ball game going on right now. Providence Hall and Richfield. Richfield is up 6-0 now in that ball game over there. And in the 2A ball game going on field 4, it's a 1-0 ball game. Not sure who's ahead there. We'll try and get that information to you. I believe it's Gunnison. The seeded team is up 1-0. Other 2A softball game going on right now is Grand against Altamont in the other one. So back to this ball game, 0-0, top of the 5th. At the plate, called strike on the batter, Casey Johnson. Called strike. She's been up once, struck out in the second inning. It's going to be a little low in the dirt. Ball 1-1 the count. And again, I point out that North Sanpete, through 4 innings, has used 1 batter over the minimum. They've had 1 batter get left on base. They've had 2 batters reach base. The other one was wiped out in a double play. So really, they've only had 1 batter over the minimum here through the 4th inning. Ball's hit down the line. Looks like it's hooking foul, so that'll be a 2-2 count now on the batter, Johnson. She'll be followed by Brooklyn Larson, and in the hole is Autumn Oldroyd. Both of these teams finished up playing and had about 15 minutes of rest before they picked them up and strapped them on again and came back to play another game. But that's what happens when you're in the drop down. Pop up to the shortstop, looks like going to be in no man's land maybe, and it does fall right in the middle of left center and a shortstop. As she gets a Texas leaguer, we used to call those, a bleeding single, Texas leaguer over the top. Shortstop looked like she had it for a while and realized it was over her head, had to turn and run at it, was not able to get there. Center made a huge effort, coming a long way, and it just went off her glove, not able to get to it completely. And so it's a base hit for Casey Johnson now, leading off in this first inning. Now they're putting a runner in. She's not pitcher or catcher, therefore this must be a substitute, and then they'll re-enter Casey Johnson in the field.
Next up is number 22, Brooklyn Larson.
Brooklyn Larson is at the plate. Brooklyn Larson flew out to the catcher the only time that she's had up. And Autumn Oldroyd is on deck after Larson. So see what they can do here. Turns to bunt, puts it down. Pitcher has to field it, goes to first base, and she bobbles it at first. The runner's going to go all the way around, and the bad throw at third base is going to allow the runner to come home. So North Sanpete scores on a series of errors on the play, but a nice bunt by Larson, and an error at first allows her to get there, and good base running by Johnson's runner as she goes all the way to third, and then a bad throw to third base goes into left field, and Johnson's runner runs home, and I don't have the number for that. It was not Johnson running, but the runner came home. So now they've got a runner at second. Down the third base line, they're going to say foul ball. It bounced just foul at the last second. And so they'll come back and redo that. Oldroyd is batting. Annie Madsen is on deck. Again, North Sanpete with first blood here, as you say, and not as they are able to get the first run across. And Toshlin, another bunt down third base, going to move the runner, the throw to first base. That play is made. So Oldroyd moves the runner by sacrificing with a bunt. Played nicely by the third baseman Cook. And it was thrown to Olivia Madsen, who was covering first base. So that is the first out. It does move Larson to third. So coming to the plate now is Annie Madsen, who flew out to third base last time. High fly ball down the left field line. I believe that's going to get out of bounds, or out of the stadium, and it'll be one strike on Madsen. Kaylee Robinson is on deck. She's the number 9 hitter, and she'll be on deck. Anything out of the infield should score a run here. A fly ball into the outfield anywhere should score a run. At least I think they'll challenge it. 1-1 the count now. Hit hard to third. Oh, they had to play at home, but they let her score. The runner from third broke early. They could have come home and had a real chance at that. But instead, the third baseman, Clay, goes across the diamond to get the out to Emma Broadbent. So they do get the out on a 5-3 put out. But it does allow the second run to score in the person of Larson. So 2 down now, 2 across. Ball's hit into right field. I believe it's going to drop in. No, second range is back. Nice job there by Ace as she ranged way back behind first base to make that play. So that was a fly out to the number 4 for the third out. But in the inning, finally someone has scored. North Sanpete gets 2. And they're now ahead 2-0 here going to the bottom of the 5th inning. We'll be right back.
As a urologist, my job includes treating kidney stones, diagnosing, treating prostate cancer, and other disorders of the urinary system. Here at CVMC, specialists and primary care physicians all work very closely together.
As a family physician, being able to have continuity of care and direct relationships with our specialists is something we're very fortunate to have here.
I'm Dr. David Sewell, board-certified urologist. I'm proud to provide state-of-the-art care here at Central Valley Medical Center.
Welcome back here again. North Sanpete now ahead 2-0 in this elimination ball game against South Summit. Yeah, this is the bottom of the 5th inning now, and South Summit will bring to the plate. They'll start out with the number 8 and 9 hitters in Sydney Crystal and Sarah Duke, followed by Mariah Bowen, the leadoff batter. Beyond that, you've got Malia Olson, Brinley Stapleton, and Emma Broadbent. Both teams have made some tremendous plays defensively to keep it where it's at. But now first blood has been drawn, as it were, using that euphemism or acronym. Coming to the plate, as we mentioned, Sydney Crystal. She's been up once and was struck out there in the 3rd inning, now batting in the 5th. Pitch down the middle, a little bit low, ball 1. Rawlinson brings it again. Inside, ball 2. That's not been typical for Rawlinson. She's been very aggressive on the first couple of pitches, usually has the batters in a hole. Outside edge called strike 1. Strike 1, so it's 2-1 count now to the batter, Crystal. Inside, low, ball 3. 3-1 the count now. Puts Crystal in a tremendous position now to be choosy or to go to hacking really hard here. Swing and a miss, up high, she swings through it. So works it full now, 3-2 the count as Rawlinson battles back here as the pitcher against Crystal. 3-2 the count. Fouls off to the right side, remains 3-2. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 5th. South Summit trying to strike back now that North Sanpete has struck. They're trying to make something happen here to strike back, to bring the momentum back. Fouled, looked like she wasn't going to swing, reaches down at the last second and fouls that one off. Defensive swing there. Remains full count. Making the pitcher Rawlinson work. Rears back, makes the pitch. Foul, pop up to second base, so that'll be one away as she's able to battle her out for the first out. Again, down 3-1 was Rawlinson, and she battles back to full count and then gets the pop-up or the flare to the second baseman, Madsen. That will bring Sarah Duke to the plate. Left fielder today, Duke. Grounds it right back up the middle past the pitcher. Shortstop picks it up, makes the throw to first. Well done, Miley Cook with a cannon of an arm across to Autumn Oldroyd. That's 2 outs. So it'll go back to the top of the order now with Mariah Bowen for her third at-bat. In her at-bats, she has grounded out to shortstop and then got on, eventually got to third base, but was stranded there in the 3rd inning. Ooh, pitch way outside there, Madsen. Uncharacteristically wild for her. That's way outside. If it's anywhere close, Stewart's been catching it there at the catcher. She's been blocking everything, but that one was way out there. So 2 down here. Swinging foul ball, strike 1. 1-1 the count now to Bowen. Batting from the left side. Cook must be in great shape. She comes over and congratulates and gives a hand slap after almost every pitch that is made. Change up, hard hit into the right field. Whoa, a shoestring catch by the right fielder, Robinson, right off the grass there. I'm not sure she knows what she's done. They're mobbing her out there. But that's one of those do or die balls. If you don't catch that, it goes all the way to the fence and somebody has an inside the park home run. But right off her shoestring, she makes that catch. So that'll be it for the 5th inning. We'll be back with the top of the 6th right after this.
Marijuana has a lot of names and even more opinions about it. It's a gray area. And even though we don't know everything about it, we do know that the adolescent brain is still under construction until early adulthood. A developing brain's gray matter, the stuff that lets kids think, analyze, and create, can be impacted by misusing cannabis at a young age. So talk to your kids. Let them know that gray matters.
To learn more, visit graymatters.utah.gov.
Welcome back as we go now to the top of the 6th inning. Just 2 innings left. 2 more at-bats for both teams. And North Sanpete clinging to a 2-0 lead here. They scored 2 in the 5th. And they are up now as we start the 6th inning. We will start at the top of the order. Olivia Madsen will start, and she'll be followed by Miley Cook and Riley Stewart. And Madsen has grounded out to the third baseman both times. And Toshlin Louder, you can't say enough. I know that North Sanpete's got 2 runs, but boy, she has been stellar out there on the mound. Until those runs were scored, North Sanpete couldn't get a runner anywhere. Hard hit ball down the left field line, Olivia Madsen, foul ball. And we'll now 0-2 count, and that's generally been the case for Toshlin Louder in throwing, as she's always been ahead of the hitters. So we'll see what happens here. 0-2. Change up, outside ball. 1-2 the count now. Brings it off the hands. It's going to be a foul ball, foul flare. Catcher not able to get to it in time, but that was right up off the hands there of Madsen. Nice pitch on that inside part by Louder. She's working quick out of that circle. When she gets in, she's quickly coming to the plate. Batters better be ready when they step in there. So it's 2-2 the count now. This time she takes a little extra time. Ripped in the 5-6. Oh, nice layout by the shortstop. She can't make the play in time, but boy, did she make a play to stop that one. South Summit shortstop Maria Bowen, she stretched out completely to get that one smothered. She just can't get up and make the throw in time. So an infield hit there by Madsen puts a runner at first with nobody out here to lead off this 6th inning, and brings Cook to the plate. Bunts it. Third base has to field it, and I don't think she got there in time. So a base hit bunt by Cook puts 2 runners on now with nobody out, and the number 3 hitter coming here. And normally your 3 and 4 don't bunt, but in this tournament today, I'm seeing power hitters being asked to bunt, and they're getting it done. So a lot of strategy and tough coaching going on. 2 runners on, nobody out, and she turns to bunt. She pops it straight in the air. That's an out. And the runners quickly get back to the base so they don't get thrown out. So a pop up to the catcher on the bunt attempt is the first out in the 6th inning. Brings Shay Rollinson to the plate now.
Number 16, Shay Rollinson.
And Shay Rollinson with a great average and a lot of power here for North Sanpete. In a position to do some real damage here. Rips it to the right side, up with it to shortstop, across the diamond, not in time. Looked to make a double play, their second of the game, to wipe that out, but they're not able to get there in time as Rollinson makes it to first base. It does advance Madsen to third, but it wipes out the runner at second base. So 2 outs in the inning now. And batting, is this a new batter? No, they're going to put a runner in for Rollinson because she's the pitcher. So you've got the courtesy runner in, the speed up runner in. I believe we still have Casey Johnson at the plate to bat. I don't think you take that bat out of the lineup. That's a good bat. So 2 down now, runners at the corners, first and third. Question is, do they send the runner from first to second and take a chance with 2 outs? Or do they play it straight up? Rips the ball, Casey Johnson does, down the line, but it will be foul. And I think South Summit's glad that one was foul. So Johnson will step back in there with 1 strike on her, 2 out now here in the top of the 6th. Ooh, up high. Ooh. Ball 1. I thought that was going to drop in there as a strike. So 1-1 the count with 2 out. Going to be popped up to the right side. Second baseman getting over underneath it and makes the play. So a leadoff runner falls for naught as South Summit able to battle out of that. The fly by Casey Johnson goes to the second baseman, aced. And that'll be it for the top of the 6th. We'll be back with the bottom after this message.
For more than 3 decades, the Intermountain Power Project has served as a model of regional energy cooperation, generating and transmitting coal-fueled electricity to a diverse group of municipal utilities and rural electric cooperatives with operations across 6 U.S. states. Now Intermountain Power is expanding its role as a regional energy hub, including utilizing renewable energy resources. Intermountain Power is proud to support and invest in our central Utah communities. Visit ipautah.com to learn more about IPP Renewed.
Welcome back once again as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning now. North Sanpete ahead 2-0. South Summit coming to bat. And they will bring to the bat Malia Olson, the number 2 hitter, Brinley Stapleton, the number 3 hitter, Emma Broadbent, the number 4 hitter. So right in the middle of this order right now. And if you're North Sanpete, you got to figure maybe if we get through this inning, the 7th might not be as tough, but you never know. So, as we mentioned, Olson comes to the plate. She's been up twice. She flew out to the left field. Again, that was a great catch by Olson, by Johnson out there. But she did hit the ball to left field down the line. And then the other time that she was up, she got on a base on balls. She was walked and stranded right there. Never moved beyond that. So Rawlinson in the circle will bring it. Off the hands to second base, bobbled there, but gets it up and across. Nice play by Madsen to Oldroyd for the first out. 1 pitch, 1 out. You can't beat that as far as efficiency is concerned. She struggled. She bobbled the ball a little bit, did Madsen, but she stuck with it, didn't panic, and made the throw in plenty of time to retire the batter. So Stapleton comes to the plate with a strikeout and a fly out to center field so far in her 2 at-bats. Ooh, on that outside edge, strike 1. Nice pitch right out there. I'm partially blind, and I could have called that one. So one strike. Rawlinson set the deal. Floats in that little changeup, but it's just she's missing with that changeup. It's a dramatic change in speed, but she's just missing in her spots. That time it floated high, didn't drop in time. So 1-1 the count. Outside edge gets past the catcher, but no damage done. It is a ball. 2-1 now the count. And this time Madsen comes in to give the high fives after the pitch. A lot of team chemistry out there. So here we go again. 1-1 the count. 2-1 the count. Hit third base. Cook up with it across the diamond, and that's another out. So Cook to Oldroyd. 5-3 is the put out. It's 2 outs in the inning. And now South Summit getting kind of shy of outs here as they're down to just 4 now. But a lot can happen. Even with just 1 out left, a lot can happen in these softball games if you get the right things going on and get a bit of a roll and some momentum. So stepping in is Broadbent, batting left-handed. Doesn't look like she's in the slap technique mode. Straightaway swing. Pitch is on the outside corner, given the call, strike 1. This Broadbent now stands in there, down 0-1. Inside, too far inside, ball 1. 1-1 the count. Hit sharply to shortstop, past the shortstop. Left fielder bobbles it just a little bit, but comes up and gets it back in. So just out of the reach of the shortstop Cook. And Miley Cook gets into left field, but the left fielder Johnson gets it back in quickly. So that's a single for Emma Broadbent. Brings Clegg to the plate. Thus far in the game, Clegg has 2 strikeouts against Rawlinson. So she has 2 strikeouts. She has a runner at first now. See what kind of things South Summit may try to do to stir this thing up. Will they send that runner? Will they hold that runner? Ball is going to be hit in the left center field. That's going to be back. knocked down by the center field, gets it back in quickly. So only one bag each, so it moves Broadbent to second. It moves Clegg to first on a single there. So 2 consecutive singles here when everything looked bright for North Sanpete. And now they have a runner in scoring position, 2 runners on. Ace comes to the plate. Ace thus far has reached on a base on balls and grounded out to the third base. Fouled off to the right side. Out of play, strike 1. Start to get nervous here. This late in the ball game, you worry about all sorts of things. And it's the team that can maintain their composure. But these are tough times. 2 runners on, 2 out. A good batter at the plate, clinging to a 2-0 lead. Going to be hit hard in the right center field gap. It's going to get down. This will be 1 run across. 2 runs are going to come across now. They'll cut the ball, but this will tie the ball game up. And a big hit there by Ace as she gets a stand-up double with 2 RBIs, driving in Broadbent and Clegg. And as we mentioned, a lot can happen with just 1 out, and they've still got 4 more. So the inning continues. Now Sanpete on the board. Summit on the board. It's 2-2 in the bottom of the 6th, and South Summit is still batting. Louder's at the plate. That pitch is going to be outside, dropped it, but the runner's not going to go anywhere. So Toshlyn Louder, who's thrown a mighty fine game of her own as the pitcher for South Summit, now at the plate with a chance to put her team in lead, give herself a bit of a lead going into the 7th. We'll see what happens. 1 ball. Hit to the right side, out of play, foul ball. Strike 1. 1-1 the count. Louder has flown out to third base, grounded out to second base in her 2 at-bats. Going to be hit to right field. Another shoestring catch by the right fielder, Robinson. That's 2 of those as she saves it again. I thought that was going to get down and past her. She reaches down and makes the saving catch. So, hey, let's go to the 7th, tied 2-2, should we? We'll be right back.
Vince Lombardi once said, "The measure of who we are is what we do with what we have." The quote rings true whether applied to our country, our schools, our homes, or on the field of play. We applaud our student athletes for their hard work and determination on the field and in the classroom. Brought to you by Sunrise Engineering, promoting excellence in sports and education. Visit us at sunrise-eng.com. That's sunrise-eng.com.
Welcome back once again, and it is now tied up 2-2, as we mentioned. North Sanpete coming to bat. Toshlyn Louder warming up again. This is the top of the 7th inning now, tied at 2. Game was cruising along 0-0 through 4. Then Sanpete was able to get a couple, and then in the 6th inning, then South Summit comes back with 2 of their own. So it's tied 2-2. When it looked like North Sanpete had them exactly where they wanted them, looked like they were going to be able to close them out. But a huge hit, or a couple of hits there by South Summit. And we're all tied up now. The big one coming from Ace. So, coming to the plate for North Sanpete will be Brooklyn Larson, the number 6 hitter, followed by Austin Oldroyd. She hits a sharp one. Oh, through the wickets there as it goes between the legs of the shortstop and goes around. It's in the left center field. And just like that, one pitch at Brooklyn Larson gets a double as the ball goes right between the legs of the shortstop. And she has been so good, Maria Bowen. And that one just gets between and gone. So now you've got that runner at second with nobody out. And you've got Austin Oldroyd coming to the plate. Maybe. Have we got a change here? Number 3 is up to bat, I believe. Number 3 for North Sanpete. Number 3 is McKinley Burnside, it looks like. McKinley Burnside will be batting here in this position for Oldroyd. So they announced her into the ball game. I imagine that they'll probably re-enter Oldroyd. Oldroyd had flown out to shortstop and grounded out to third base in her 2 at-bats. So Burnsides will step in, ready to go here with a runner at second and nobody out. You got to wonder if this is the bunt to try and move that runner to third base. She turns to bunt. She pops it straight in the air, and it's going to roll foul. The catcher makes a huge effort. Brindley Stapleton lays out everything she's got to get to that ball. Nearly collides with the first baseman coming in, Emma Broadbent, but it's just a foul ball. You got to make sure that that bat stays up and you drop the ball down. Don't get it in the air. That's the worst thing you can do on a bunt, really, is pop it straight up. Turns to bunt again, pops it up again. This time it's fair. First baseman tries to get there. They throw the ball into right field, and the runner's going to come around and score. And a great bunt. First baseman Broadbent laid out for it, could not get to it, and then touched it so it couldn't roll foul, which kept it in fair territory. The throw to first base, which would have been late, was thrown clear into right field, allowing Larson to come all the way around and score the go-ahead run, 3-2, and Burnside is standing at first base. And that's one of those balls that if you let it fall, it may roll foul, but the first baseman, making a valiant effort at it, actually dove for it, and then it touched her, and it wouldn't matter if it rolled foul at that point in time. The pitcher, Louder, I believe it was, tried to throw her out at first base, but it was too late, and the throw went wide and into right field. Backed up nicely by the right fielder, holding the runner to first base, so she couldn't advance, but the other runner, Burton Larson, came in to score. Now you've got Annie Madsen at the plate, followed by Kaylee Robinson. There's still no one out in the inning. Turns to bunt, puts it down. It's a foul ball. Strike one. So it's an 0-1 count to Madsen. Turns to bunt again, puts it down the third baseline. She picks it up, throws it to first. That's an out. And does advance the runner Burnside to second base with the sacrifice bunt. So that's the first out of the inning, but it advances Burnside to second base. Now will they bunt again with Kaylee Robinson at the plate or swing away here? The force is off. Olivia Madsen is on deck. One down. The force is off here. So will you bunt or will you swing? Does not square to bunt on that one. 0-1 the count. 1-0 the count. That was called a ball. So 1-0 the count. See what the strategy is here. She stays, swings, hard down. Oh, what a play by that first baseman. She dives to her glove side, makes the snag on a line shot, rolls into first base to get the out. It does move the runner, but what a play there by Broadbent. Both these teams laying it all on the line, folks, to try and get this win. That's a great play right there, and there's been a number of them in this ball game. Kaylee Robinson now steps in. She hits it foul down the left field towards the dugout, picked up by the catcher and throw back in. Kaylee Robinson has flown out to the second baseman. I'm all over the thing wrong, I guess. This is Olivia Madsen. I missed a batter. Great for me. Madsen's at the plate. She hits it in the 5-6 hole, picked up by the shortstop across the diamond, and she's safe, and that scores a run. So Oldroyd comes in to score, and that's Madsen, and she's going to be able to make it to first base on an infield hit. So that's 2 outs in the inning, 2 runs across. And Cook comes to the plate. Takes a called strike one. I must have missed Kaylee Robinson altogether. So that's why we got an official scorekeeper here. Ripped down the line, foul. So again, we're on the top of the 7th still. That's right. Yeah, the great play by the first baseman. That's right. Made that out. And I missed it altogether. I was so excited about what it was. Fouled complete straight back. 0-2 still the count on the batter, Cook. So Riley Stewart is on deck. Shea Rollinson in the hole if they get that far. But again, they've got a couple of runs here. It's 4-2 now is the ball game. Pops it up on the infield. Shortstop's coming after it, and she'll take it. That's Bowen. So that's the out. So they do get 2 runs in the inning by my calculations. That makes it 4-2 now, going to the bottom of the 4th. Bottom of the 7th. So they got 3 outs, but last inning they made 2 runs with 1 out left in the inning. So we'll see what happens. Ava's having a heart attack over here. We hope she makes it. So we'll take a timeout.
Jorgensen's Power Sports is your one-stop shop for all of your outdoor adventure needs. We carry a wide variety of ATVs, UTVs, RVs, firearms, outdoor accessories, and much more. Complete with both a service and warranty department. Check us out online at www.jhsport.com or give us a call at 435-896-6408.
Welcome back here as we go to the bottom of the 7th now. The other 3A ball game is 6-0 now in favor of Richfield, I believe, over Providence Hall. So again, winners move on to tomorrow's ball games, and losers, unfortunately, again, their season will have to end. So the stage is set here. You've got a 2-run lead for North Sanpete. Rollinson is not pitching now? Is this still Rollinson? Or is that Johnson back into pitch? Try and check that out. That didn't look like Rollinson throwing the ball there. Number 13 is now. Throw that over there. Number 13, Johnson, is pitching again now. She pitched the last game. She's been playing left field. So now she comes in to pitch here. Does Johnson. So we'll see what she can do here. Casey Johnson. Swing and a miss. The batter for South Summit. The batter is the number 8 batter, Sydney Crystal. So she takes a strike there. She flew out to second base her last time up, struck out the first time up in her 2 at-bats. On deck would be Sarah Duke, who was grounded out to third base and grounded out to shortstop. Swing and a miss there again by Sydney Crystal, here in the 7th inning. So it's a 1-2 count. Johnson on Crystal. Woo, pretty close, pretty close. Took a lot of guts to not swing at that thing. So 2-2 the count. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Johnson comes in and starts the inning with a strikeout. Down to 2 outs now for South Summit. Looks like we may have a substitute here. This is supposed to be Sarah Duke, number 7, but we've got number 17 come to the box. 17 is Kelby Pierce, who played in the previous ball game I did with them, but has not played in this game. So Kelby Pierce will be batting here for South Summit in the number 9 spot. Then she'll be followed by Mariah Bowen, the leadoff hitter. And if we go farther than that, Malia Olson, Brindley Stapleton, we get back into the meat of the order for South Summit. So if you're a North Sanpete fan, this is imperative that you get this out before you get back into the top of the order. So Johnson toes the mark. And here we go. Ball 1, a little bit high and outside. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. 1-1 the count. And Johnson's juiced up. She's bringing it, folks. So Pierce steps back in. Fouled it back. Good job by Pierce getting a piece of that one, fouling it directly back. 2 strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes now on the batter, Pierce. On deck, Mariah Bowen. And here it comes. Swing and a miss on the outside corner. Strike 3. 2 strikeouts here to start the 7th inning. So South Summit down to 1 out here, but they were down to 1 out in the last inning, we remind you, and then they struck big for 2 runs to tie it up. So a lot can happen with only 1 out left, or even 1 strike left. Bowen comes to the plate. That's high ball 1. She's been up 3 times, reached base once. And she flew out to left field. A great catch out there. She grounded out to shortstop. Johnson may be a little bit too juiced up as she's having trouble getting the ball across the plate. It's 2-0 now. And sometimes a pitcher can get that way when they're excited. They try to throw too hard. That pitch on the outside corner is a called strike with movement. Good movement on that pitch. 2-1 the count. Inside. On the inside half. Strike 2, so they are down to their last strike now is South Summit. Ball's hit well down the line and left. It'll be out of play. So stays 2-2 the count with 2 out with a 2-run lead is for North Sanpete. Johnson brings it. Brings the little changeup. Oh, a defensive swing there by Bowen. I think she had to, though. That was on that edge that's been getting called all day. A defensive swing fouls that thing off to stay alive here. Good piece of hitting there by Bowen. Steps back in. Another foul down that left field line, out of play. She's battling. She's not going to give up easy. Umpire has got to go find some new softballs. She keeps fouling everything off, and he can't get it out of the machine. They have a little gizmo. People can return the balls through a little PVC pipe. Sometimes they get stuck, and he's struggling. He finally gets it. Okay, now we can go back to playing. So 2-2 the count with 2 out, nobody on. 2-run lead for North Sanpete. And so here we go. Johnson against Bowen. Throws that one way hard. It hits the dirt early. That's a ball. Full count. I believe the shouting is Richfield has just won their ball game to move on to tomorrow's games over Providence Hall. So Richfield advances. Ball is going to be hit back up the middle. Play by second, knocks it down. Unable to make the play, just out of the reach of Johnson at the pitcher's mound, just out of the reach of Madsen at second base. And Dribbler makes it to the grass, and it puts a runner on first base. So here we go, runner on with Olson coming to the plate. This happened in the last inning with 2 out, then they rallied to get 2 runs to tie the ball game up. So now we go with Olson, see what she can do. Another left-hander, hits the ball in the air, deep, and that's out of here, folks. That ties the ball game down to their last strike, and now they've tied the ball game. Last strike on Bowen, and she battles for a hit, and on one pitch, Olson takes it out of the place for a 2-run home run and ties it up 4-4. What a time for a big swing like that. And Olson had only been able to get on a walk in the 3rd inning. She hadn't been on otherwise. And boom, there's that home run that ties the game, so we might get to play more here. Bringing to the plate, Brindley Stapleton. And she's the number 3 hitter. Her and Broadbent both with good power. They could equal that. So it's 4-4. This game went 0-0 through 4 innings. And since then, it's been a run here and a run there, but it's been a battle. Change up on the outside, called a ball. I think we had one of these last year that just kept going on and on and on in extra innings. I think Grantsville was involved, if I remember right. And it went on seemingly forever. Everybody else was gone home and sleeping by the time we got done with it. So 2 balls now to the batter. Stapleton with Broadbent on deck. That's going to be 3 balls now as Johnson trying to recover a little bit emotionally from that home run. That takes a little bit out of you. So she needs to step up in there and get herself back together. You don't want another runner on base. So Stapleton stands in, 3-0 the count. Probably won't be swinging. Fakes the bunt, lets it come. That's going to be a called strike. 3-1 the count now. 3-1 the count. I'll call on the outside corner. That's going to be a strike. Full count now. 3-2, 2 down. The pitch comes. The shot to third base, and Cook makes that. Afton Cook makes the line drive catch. And so, hey, we're going to go extra innings here. It's 4-4 at the end of 7. Let's go 8. We'll be right back.
Sanpete Steel in Moroni was founded in 1994 and is one of the major steel construction companies in the Intermountain West. Specializing in structural steel fabrication and assembly, Sanpete Steel's impressive portfolio includes the Hales Theater in Sandy and structures on the campuses of the University of Utah, BYU, and UVU. Sanpete Steel in Moroni, where their motto is done right and on time at 685 East Main Street. Call today at 800-261-1026. That's 800-261-1026. Or go to sanpetesteel.com.
Welcome back here. And the last 2 innings for South Summit. In the 6th inning, they were down to their last out. And then lightning struck, and they ended up with 2 runs to tie the game. North Sanpete goes back on top by 2. Looks like they've got it locked up. They've got 2 outs. They've got 2 strikes on Bowen, the leadoff hitter. She finds a way to get a hit. The number 2 batter puts it over the fence to tie it up. So even down to 1 strike, there's still a lot that can happen in these ball games. And that's exactly what has happened here as we now go to the 8th inning. Now, do they do the international rule where they put the runner at second base in this thing? They started using that. There she goes. The international rule now, I guess it's not international now, it's ours. But they will put the last batter, which in this case would have been Miley Cook, I believe, will go to second base. It's kind of a speed-up thing to try and make sure you don't go 22 innings before someone scores. The philosophy that if you start somebody at second base, somehow they're going to score one of them. So, coming to bat, Riley Stewart, now the catcher. She turns as though to bunt, and she'll pull it back. The runner breaks, and a nice play there, well done. She may have jammed that knee when she slid, but she made the break. I don't think they expected that. And the throw to shortstop was a little bit late getting there, nearly went into left field. I thought it was going to go to left field. But the fake bunt was effective in that it moved the runner. Now she can do whatever she wants. Do you bunt here to squeeze her in? Pitch is high, ball 2. So 2-0 the count. Foul ball or dead ball. I guess they're going to claim it's dead because she ran over, picked it up, and handed it to the catcher, even though it was in fair territory. So it must have been off her leg or foot. Maybe a pop up on the infield. Third baseman will step in and take it. That's Javian Clegg will take that pop up there for first out of the inning. And Stewart pops up. So that's 1 out. Shay Rollinson now the batter, the big number 4 hitter. And she has not had great success at the plate today. But never say never in a game like this. She hits a drive into left field. Back. It's out of here. A 2-run home run by Rawlinson. Just as I say never. And she rips one out of here. She has not had great success at the plate, but now she has the home run, putting them up by 2. But as we've seen before, 2 ain't enough. If you're North Sanpete, you want one more, at least one more. It's been so hard on the ladies. The young girls have had to take off and get out of here, and Barrett's now running the machines because they were having heart attacks. They're North Sanpete alumni, and they had to go. So Barrett's more impassive. He's okay here at the controls. So now we got some more strategy going on. Not sure what that was. The North Sanpete coach came and talked to them. No substitutions that I know of have taken place. Not sure what that was about, but as we go, Casey Johnson comes to the plate. It's going to be a pitch high in the zone called a strike. Brooklyn Larson is on deck. There's 1 out in the inning, 2 runs across. Virtue of the huge home run by Rawlinson. Foul ball by Johnson back against the screen. 0-2 the count. Lauder has thrown a nice game tonight. They've got a run here or there, but she has really thrown a nice game. And Johnson's going to stand there and let that hit her. They used to not let you get that walk unless you made some kind of an effort to get out of the way. Anymore, it's like, okay, dive in front of the darn thing and take the hit. And they don't, they let it go. So Johnson is at first base. Are they putting a runner in for Johnson? They are. I think that's, but she's pitching now, so they can do that.
22, Brooklyn Larson.
So she's pitching, therefore they can put the speed-up runner in for her. Now Brooklyn Larson comes to the plate with a runner on first and 1 away. So, Brooklyn Larson at the plate, Oldroyd or Burnside on deck. Ripped up the middle, past the shortstop, into center field. And the runner will advance to second base. A base hit here by Larson. Larson the last few times has played havoc on South Summit, as she's been on both times. The last 3 times she's batted. The previous 2 she scored runs. Now you've got, I think it's Burnside back in there. I believe that's number 13. Pop up to the infield. Shortstop's going to take it on the infield fly rule. That's an out. So that's the second out of the inning now. And it'll bring to the plate Annie Madsen to the plate now.
Number 25, Annie Madsen.
So Madsen hits. Is that one out of here? She hits another home run. Madsen, a 3-run dinger here. 1 pitch and a 3-run home run by Annie Madsen. Wow, the wheels have come off for South Summit. That brings around to score Casey Johnson. It brings in Brooklyn Larson, and it brings in Annie Madsen. So after going 7 innings, nobody being able to score much of anything, here is North Sanpete throws 5 runs on the board here in this inning. And South Summit is going to make a change in the pitching. Did you get the number change on that? That's number 18. Number 18 for South Summit, Javian Clegg. So she'll come in from third base. And it looks like Lauder's going to go to third base. So that looks like the only change. Clegg and Lauder will switch positions now. So Clegg will be in there. So Clegg will be throwing. It's now 9-4 here in the 8th inning. But never say never. South Summit has battled back twice before. So coming to the plate now will be Kaylee Robinson for Sanpete. She will step in there. She's been up 3 times. Has not been able to get on base thus far. We'll see what happens here. Again, you never say never. Robinson will be followed by the leadoff batter, Olivia Madsen. And the last time Robinson hit, she hit a zinger to first base, and a fantastic play by Broadbent to stop that from being a double down the line. This time she'll hit it down the left field line out of play. Strike 1. So steps back in. Here comes the next pitch. Going to be outside. Ball. 1-1 the count.
Off the bat, number 18, Kaylee Robinson.
Ball's going to be hit deep into center field. Well, wait a minute. That's just over the infield. A great play there by the shortstop, Bowen, as she ranges clear from her position, clear back to the grass behind second base to make that diving catch. That's a great play by Bowen. And that's the 3rd out of the inning. They sent 8 players to the plate in that inning. They scored 5 runs, and they're up now 9-4. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with the bottom of the 8th here. South Summit coming to bat.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
Little excitement out there in the North Sanpete girls. You worry that they start celebrating a little bit too early. You would think 5 runs is too much to come back from. But South Summit probably thought that when the inning started, and North Sanpete hung 5 on them. The same thing could come back at them right here. We'll see what happens as we start the bottom of the 8th inning here. 4-9 in favor of the North Sanpete Hawks. To the plate will come Emma Broadbent, Javian Clegg, and Addie Aist. And these girls have done some damage, so they better be ready to play. In the last couple of innings, they've been down to their last strike and then have been able to battle back and tie it. We'll see what happens here. First pitch is inside, called strike, and they do have a runner on in Brinley Stapleton, the last batter out in the international rule. So she is on at second base with Broadbent batting. Rips the ball to right field. This one's going to get down. Nice stop there by the right fielder. That's Robinson. She stops the ball. Did not make another circus catch like she's made twice already in the ball game. It does allow the runner, Stapleton, to move to third base, and it's a base hit for Broadbent. As the agony of getting that last out continues here. Now we have Javian Clegg at the plate. She singled last time and then scored. Single to keep the inning running. Pitch is inside, ball 1. I take that back. That was 2 innings ago that she singled and then scored to keep the game going. That was in the 6th inning. On deck is Aist. Swing and a miss, strike one. So Clegg with one strike, one ball. Nobody out here. Runners at the corners, first and third. Ace on deck. Clegg at the plate. Down the third baseline. Whoosh, just foul. Just foul. And I believe that's Rawlinson back at the pitching, isn't it? I believe they moved Rawlinson back onto the mound here. Have to make sure of that, but I believe that's Clegg back in there. The ball's bobbled. It's going to allow the runner to go to second base. And this is a situation where they really don't need to worry about these first two runners. They just got to get some outs. That might be still. So the pitcher is going to bring it. Going to be a little bit outside. So the pitcher is Shea Rawlinson again. Number 16 is back in there as the pitcher. Ball is hit in the air to right center field, and that's going to get down, so 2 runs are going to score. Well, it looks like they're going to hold the runner up. They were waiting to see if the ball was caught, so here we go again, folks. The 1 run is in, and the Broadbent goes to third, and Clegg with a stand-up double. So the score now 9-5. Here we go. Rawlinson now pitching to Ace. Last at bat for Ace, she got the big double that scored a couple of runs to tie the ball game up in the 6th inning. Ball is inside. This would be another epic comeback if they were to do this 3 innings in a row to come back to tie or win for South Summit. It's on that outside corner. They give that strike. 1-1 the count now to the batter, Ace. Louder's on deck. Rips it down the right field line, foul. So 1-2 the count now. 2 runners on. Nobody out. 1 run across so far in the inning. Louder goes Ace, Louder, Crystal, and then Duke or Pierce. Then we're back to the top of the order. Ooh, look good inside, a little bit low. Ball, 1. 1-2 the count now. Rawlinson brings it. Ooh, outside corner. Oh, and she wanted it bad. They've been getting that call, didn't that time, so it goes 3-2 now, the count. Full count here to the batter, Ace. Ball's dribbled down the third baseline, foul. Cook smothers it there. Afton Cooks had a great game at third base there. She smothers that, but it's foul, so she'll come back. Another 3-2 count. Nobody out in the inning, folks. And 1 run is already across for South Summit. Ooh, check, swing, strike. They called it. So a check, string, swat. They're going to ask for an appeal on this one. Going to go down and talk, but I don't know how that umpire at third base will be able to see that from that position. He gives a quick signal of a strike, so that's an out. So that's a strikeout. That's a huge out. First out of the inning. The first base coach threw his hat and glasses on the field, so they think the umpire is sending him off. He threw his hat in the process out onto the field, and he's going to be asked to leave the stadium at this point in time. They'll have to bring a new coach over to first base. before he even got out. So they've had to change coaches now. As now the third base coach is getting it into it with the umpire out there at third base. They're nose to nose, and he might get tossed here if he's not careful. So cooler heads need to prevail here. You've still got 2 runners on, only 1 down, and you're in a good spot in your order. The coach still isn't happy. He's treading on thin ice. Now the home plate umpire who was walking away is walking back now to him. I think people are trying to get a hold of him and calm him down, but umpire goes all the way down to third base to talk to him. He's still not happy. Coaches do that. Sometimes you get that way. I've been there before. Well, to paint the picture, it's still 9-5. South Summit still has runners at second and third. They only have 1 out. They've been down to their last strike in the last couple of innings and still made something big happen. So it still could happen here. 1 big swing here and you're only down by 1. So we'll see what happens here as Toshlin Louder comes to the plate, followed by Sydney Crystal and Sarah Duke or Kelby Pierce in that position. Toshlin hits it down to third base, and it's bobbled by Cook, so now the bases are loaded. Looked like a sure out. Cook has been so good down there at third base. Just got a little excited to make that throw and bobbled the ball. It's bases loaded now. As we send Louder to first base, we got Crystal at the plate. She struck out twice, and she's flied out to second base, but never say never. Pitches, swing and a strike, strike 1. You realize now the situation they're in, the tying run is at the plate in the person of Sydney Crystal, who again, we've said it before, players who hadn't been much help offensively suddenly come to life here in these last couple of innings. Crystal dribbles it to second base. She's going to come to first for the out. 1 run will score, but she makes sure of the out. That's big. So Crystal is thrown out at first, 4-3 for the second out. The run does score in the person of Broadbent, and you've moved Clegg to third base, and you've moved Louder to second base. So the tying run is still at the plate. And I believe is this Kelby Pierce, I believe, number 17, who substituted for Duke in the last couple of innings. Swing and a miss, strike 1. And if they get past this, then they're at the top of the order with Mariah Bowen coming to the plate. Followed by Olson, who hit a home run the last time she was up. Big things in store here. It's never over. Pitch is going to be inside, a ball, 1-1 the count. 9-6. In favor of North Sanpete. 1 out to go here for South Summit. They've been there the last 2 innings, though. Swing and a miss outside, strike 2. So, again, last inning they were down to their last strike, and they ended up with a single and a home run to tie it up. So, we'll see what happens here with Pierce as she's down 1-2 in the count, 2 down, with runners in scoring position. Pop it back against the screen. That's a foul ball. Stays alive. In her position, she wants to do anything she can to get on and get Mariah Bowen to the plate. They're the leadoff batter, and Malia Olson with some home run power, both of them. Rollinson to bring it. And it's going to be a single into left field. It'll score 1 run, and we're not done yet. Pierce with a single and the RBI, bringing Clegg home. 3 runs across. It's 7-9. Moving Louder to third base, and the tying run Duke at first. Pierce at first. And we're now back to the top of the order with Mariah Bowen. 2 runs down, and Mariah Bowen at the plate. This thing couldn't get any more dramatic. Hits it down third base. Oh, a great play. I'm going to say foul ball. I thought that was a fantastic play. It was by Duke to even get a hand on that ball. Cook, I mean. She probably would not have been able to make the throw, but what a job of fielding it. It would have saved a run either way. So Bowen back in there. 1 strike on Bowen. Outside, I believe that'll be called a ball. 1-1. Seven to 9 the score. Bottom of the 8th. Dribbler to the right side. Second baseman bobbles it. Does not make the play. A run has scored. Not able to make the play. His nerves abound out there right now. And Pierce goes to second. And Bowen goes to first. And we're down to a 1-point ball game. It is 8 to 9. So once again, when it looked like everything was in the hands of North Sanpete, little things start to happen, and here we are in a 1-run ball game, 9 to 8 in the bottom of the 8th, and 2 away. But the batter is Malia Olson. Last time up, she didn't do much. She just hit a home run, a 2-run blast to tie the ball game. So here we go. A little conference at the mound there for North Sanpete to discuss some things. And it's one of those things you get to worrying out there defensively, and you really all you need is 1 run or outs. You just need to get outs. You got runs to give, but you get worrying about the runs being scored and you don't make plays that you normally have been making. You feel bad. But what about the grit and the determination of this North-South Summit group? So Olson is at the plate. She's the 9th batter in the inning. Fouls it back. Strike 1. You know, what they need to do is just go ahead and put her to 2 strikes, because that's when they do their damage. Just say, okay, you got 2 strikes on you. Right, Barrett? Yeah. 1 strike here. 0-1 the count. 2 down. 8 to 9. North Sanpete clinging to that lead. Down the third base line. That's a shot. It's going to be foul. So here we are. 0-2 the count. 2 away. Down to their last strike. Down to their last strike. The number 2 batter at the plate. They've got runners at second and first. A base hit will score the tying run. A double probably would score the winning run. So there you are with Malia Olson at the plate. Rawlinson ready to deliver the pitch. Ooh, a little high. 1-2 the count now. 1-2 the count. This would be epic. Three innings in a row that they've had to make these comebacks. South Summit has, and they've been able to accomplish it. Hit to shortstop, through the shortstop, into the center field. 1 run is scored. The other runner going to third base on the bobble in center field. So the game is tied again. 5 runs in the inning, most of it with 2 away. No, excuse me, 1 away. But there you go. A hit by Malia Olson drives in a run and moves Bowen all the way to third. So the winning run is at third base. The game is tied. The winning run is standing at third base. Brindley Stapleton is at bat. Place goes silent before every pitch, wondering what's going to happen. That's a ball outside. You got runners at the corners of South Summit. Runners at the corner. Tying, winning run at third base. Rawlinson ready to dish. Pitch is inside. Ball 2 to Stapleton. On deck is Broadbent and then Clegg. But you probably won't get to Clegg. Something, one way or the other, is going to happen before Clegg gets up. Looks like that. Ball 3 is called. Ball 3. So it's a 3-0 count to the batter, Stapleton. And if she gets on, again, that brings Broadbent, the cleanup hitter, to the plate. Some of the energy's gone out of North Sanpete. And that's 4 straight balls to walk. Now the the force is on everywhere. You just don't have anywhere to put anybody else. So it benefits North Sanpete a little bit in that they have a force at any base now. But you also don't have the leeway of walking another batter. So Stapleton gets the walk. That loads the bases, and it brings Broadbent to the plate. Another left-handed batter.
Coming up to bat, number 10, Emma Broadbent.
So Broadbent stands in. She could be the hero here as a cleanup hitter. Not had a huge day at the plate. See what she can do here. Pitch is going to be outside, ball 1. 5 straight balls thrown here by Rawlinson. Want to know the count. Bases loaded. 9-9 the game in the 8th. Pitch is outside, ball 2. 6 straight pitches called ball. And this is the issue here. You don't have anywhere to put that batter once you've loaded him up. You'd hate to see this thing end in a walk. That's going to be called, I believe, a strike there down the middle. Nice pitch there from Rawlinson. 2-1 the count now. Now the sparks start flying here. 2-1 count. Ball is going to be dribbled down the third base line. They say foul. Cook does make the throw to first base in time. They say it's foul ball. Foul ball. So it's 2-2 the count. So again, once again, down to the last strike. Of course, if they get her out, we go to another one. We go to 9. And I'm going to have to get a new scorebook. So, steps back in, Broadbent. 2-2 the count, 2 out. That'll be the ball game as she rips one into left center field, and that'll score 1. It'll score 2, but that doesn't matter because the first one's the one that counts. And so a big hit by Emma Broadbent, and they come back and score 6 runs here in the bottom of the 8th inning, as Broadbent gets the single. What a crazy last 3 innings we had here. And South Summit battles back 3 times, twice to tie it, and once the last inning here from 5 runs down, they battle back to score 6 runs in the inning to win the ball game 10-9. Congratulations to South Summit, their grit and determination and their refusal to die. What a game, and a great game played by North Sanpete. And North Sanpete will be finished with it, unfortunately for them, but that was a great effort. South Summit will move on. Score of 10-9 in 8 innings. Congratulations to South Summit, and they'll live on to play again. So this is it for the tournament for tonight. We come back and play tomorrow morning. Tomorrow you'll have Grantsville and Emory and Union and Morgan in the championship side, and Richfield and South Summit surviving and waiting for the drop down from the first game. So the first game starts at 10. We'll see you then.